Hello everyone, welcome back to the TDD Season 8 recap series. We've finally made it to playoffs, and to a safe space in the middle of Brazil.
Yeah, I still can't believe what all went down last week. Urshifu freaking capped Lifeweaver.
He
Thank
one-tapped
God.
him through the
Yeah,
resist.
that's a resisted hit. I'm impressed. I wonder if Lifeweaver just has like no physical defense.
I don't... Were there stealth rocks? I just don't know. That shouldn't kill, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised as you are here. What are you standing on, by the way?
Starmobile.
Oh,
Urshifu
cool.
has one.
Does that belong to Urshifu? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's his, but this is kind of our recording setup because we didn't exactly have time to grab the mics and everything while we were running, so this thing has built-in microphone. It has, an editing software in here, so we should be able to get everything recorded and uploaded from the Starmobile.
Oh, true. Well, I made a friend. This is Mavostif.
No way.
Yeah, he has Intimidate.
He sure looks like he does.
Yeah, look at him.
I'm so
Look at that
scared right
face.
now.
Anyway, we're here. We got quarterfinals matches for you. We're obviously quite a bit behind here, but we were on the run and we were on the river for like a whole month, so give us a break.
Yeah, so we got 4 games this time. 2 from one of the games that went to Game 3, and then 1 from the other ones. But a lot of Game 3s. We can't cover every match, but we'll cover as many of them as we can that are, interesting to talk about.
Yeah, despite playoffs being like less than half of the teams in the actual season, the first week of playoffs amounts to a full week of the matches, because it's best of threes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll kick right off here. As a quick reminder for everyone, the playoff format that we run with is obviously, like we said, it's best of 3, but also it's the same team for that best of 3. Like we used to do different teams, but now we do the same team. So information gained is information kept.
Yeah, for sure. So you pick 6, you build them, and then you have to run those same sets the whole way through. So anything revealed in Game 1 will be known for Games 2 and 3. So we'll talk about how that impacts things as we go along. But
Yeah.
I'm going to get started if you are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Cool. So we're on to our first game. This is Jovial Fakeout versus Birdwatchers. We're just covering one game from this set, specifically the third one, which means most of these players both have a good idea of what the opponent is running. Not exact spreads known, but by this point, they have a pretty good idea of what they're up against.
Yeah, movesets have mostly been revealed from the first 2 games. I do think maybe in Game 2, OJ forfeited to preserve information. So it's possible, just based on that decision, that there was something that could be preserved by that point. But it's been a bit since we've seen these, and I do think that quite a lot had been revealed, like you said. Let's take a brief second just to talk about what we are seeing here before the match starts. OJ's drop is Spathra for Mega Pidgeot.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty clear why. Like the flying stab goes pretty well into Ned's top tier. The only real flying resistance that Ned has, besides the Garganackle that's not here, is the steel type that basically doesn't exist on Ned's team, which is the Rev Room.
And Jolteon.
Oh, and Jolteon. But Jolteon's like the resist is, it's fine, I guess.
It's a good
but like
check.
it's not like it's super.
I mean, it outruns it. It can switch in, and it can hurt Pidgeot pretty bad with a Thunderbolt. So, like, it does have to respect the Jolteon, but that's also, like, all you have. And Jolteon can't switch in so many times on Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's more my point. Like, it in the position where Hurricane is coming out, like, the switch in... yeah, like you said, it can switch in once. Ned's team is nice in that it has, like, a pretty good speed advantage over Pidgeot, which is unusual. Like, a 121 base speed is pretty fast. But it is Megastone locked, so... having something like Zamazenta, Jolteon, not quite Persian, all of those do a pretty good job just naturally outspeeding, and this Chandelier is also Scarfed, so it's also going to be outspeeding without a Tailwind being set up.
One other problem OJ's run into this season is the threat of Burn, just because Bro has a lot of physical attackers. So we saw in previous games that he adapted to this by running special Salamence, plus Annihilate. Yep. The main source of burn this game is Machagacha, and that's pretty risky into Annihilate, because if you don't get the burn off it, you are boosting Rage Fist, which gets real scary real quick. I think Annihilate is good here in general, but it's a matter of if it can get online.
Yeah, even if you are, even if you do get the burn, like enough hits into it, the Rage Fist will just not care about the burn. It'll still
Yeah.
be, 200, 300 base power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is special. This is actually choice specs Salamence.
Yeah. I think Ned sets are pretty standard. One cool thing that we did see in a previous game, I think, anyway, was Stone Edge Zamazenta, which is guaranteed hit into no guard Pidgeot. So, Ned trying
Yeah.
to get around the Witch's Curse.
Yep, that's a good tech. And it's sort of there as well for the Salamence, but then you are rolling the accuracy.
Yeah, and you're intimidated. So,
Yep.
it's not bad. But yeah, I think that's it for the Pokemon Select screen. I guess we can get the match started.
Yep. Let's
All right,
send it.
let's do it. God, it's been so long since I've had to find ways to talk over the Pokemon slowly hitting the field.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
Ned's got a pretty standard lead here. Like they usually go with the Persian, and then OJ with another Fakeout user, and then the Ogerpon.
Chandeler's just going to leave. No fake out, just going to switch back out into the Salamence.
Probably expecting the Ivy Cudgel, right?
Yeah.
To switch out there.
Probably. And just fake out into the other slot. So nothing happens on this turn one, but fake out does get burns this turn. And we're going to eat that body press, which is pretty nice.
Intimidate onto the Zamazenta is pretty bad, considering you can't switch out without losing the defense boost.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really hurt body press, but
it doesn't. But like you can't body press here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a snarl.
Yeah, this is game 3. So Ned is obviously very well aware of what's going to happen with the Annihilape's ability. I think game 1 maybe it was a surprise, but this time it was not.
Yeah, so that Snarl is, in exchange for lowering Salamence's special attack, is going to double Annihilape's attack and double the power of Rage Fist in this specific instance, in exchange for 6%. So Ned is packing Foul Play to help it damage this Annihilape after it's getting boosted, but it is a scary position to be in, I would argue.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this Annihilape switch-in was really smart. Like, there was 2 out of the 4 Persian moves are stat dropping. There's Parting Shot and Snarl, and you're looking at like an intimidated Zamazenta who is either doing reduced damage with something like Psychic Fangs or is doing no damage with Body Press. So you're most likely here looking at like a very safe position with the Annihilape, and at what we see happen is like a pretty free stat boost to the attack stat as well as the Rage Fist, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Annihilape's stat type profile is a little weird because you have the immunities, but you don't have a lot of proper resistances. So it's a little hard to get the stacks off without taking damage on the way in. But he's done it. He's got 100 power Rage Fist, and well, something will happen with it, I'm sure. But
yeah,
the Snarl will reduce that
help.
damage.
Yeah, that's Assault Vest on Zamazenta as well.
Actually crazy there. He's choosing to sacrifice the Defiant boost on Annihilape.
Yeah, the foul play was scouted obviously in the earlier games, so I think this is expected. I don't know how much damage that foul play would have done, but
about
a fair
I want to say
think.
43 or something, but was what we saw it do in the past. But honestly, really good play because you want to preserve the Annihilate, but you got your Rage Fist boost. You're happy with that, and you can come back and get more later. I think other people might have tried to get more value out of the 2x boost there right then, but I respect switching it out. I think that's really sick.
If it had been running Drain Punch, it probably could have stood a lot more against this Persian.
Yeah.
But it's not, so it isn't able to just heal back up.
Fake out and another Snarl coming out, so the Snarl's mostly irrelevant. Besides,
that was just for the Ments.
Yep, at Protect, a Light Screen, and a Parting Shot here. Yeah, Persian's kind of struggling to get value, I feel like, outside of the Fake Out in this game in general.
I mean, the Parting Shot's certainly effective. It's just risky every time you throw out that kind of move.
Yeah. It's like it's coming back in to eat the Horn Leech here. Ogerpon's back up to full. Machagacha will double hit and not burn. Play Rough is going to hurt. That's
Fur Coat
kind of a lot.
Though. Taunting, when it's just Machagacha spamming, I still think it's good, because you don't really know what else. Well, you know what else it's running at this point, but yeah, you don't want it to strength step.
Yeah, no, I respect that. Parting Shot not into the Annihilate slot, so almost really sketchy.
And now we have, what, 150 base power, but it does burn.
Yeah, which very, very helpful for sure. It's a 20% chance, you know, like, barring the accuracy thing. But if there's anything on this team you want to burn, it's the Annihilate, because if that is a 150 base power Annihilate on its own without getting burned, you don't have an option other than Persian that survives that anymore, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably not. There's a lot of ghost types on this team, not a lot of resistances to the ghost.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but the screens and like all of this is very defensive play. Like there's a lot going on here that's just keeping things alive. We get our first kill on turn 9 with the scarfed flamethrower.
Yep, and it's gonna get traded out in. Oh, actually, it lives because of the burn. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Shadow Ball does 25.
Yep.
Because
I don't remember how invested is this thing.
oh, it's max HP, max speed F.
Okay, yeah.
I think in an earlier version of the team, it was max. It was max defense, and I told him stop that. Bring speed F. You can certainly be trusted with max HP, max speed F, and Annihilate. Pidgeot's gonna eat the flamethrower, confusion on the Blastoise, and that will actually pick up the KO this time.
Yeah, this Annihilate can't be left to its own devices, even with the burn. Like it's still doing reasonable % each turn, and
I mean,
it is
it's
healing with
basically
leftovers.
100 base power. Well, the healing's being neutralized by burn. Alluring Voice does chip and boosts Rage Fist, so at this point the burn is mostly irrelevant, because besides the Persian, I think things are just going to go down. Manages to protect through the confusion.
I think this Blastoise is in a little bit of a rough spot speed tier-wise. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to be super confident going for almost anything. Hospitality comes out. We have a Bulldoze.
Yeah.
That's quite an odd choice.
Yeah, so when I was talking to OJ in prep, he asked about ways to get Annihilate online, and I mentioned, like, well, you can run Bulldoze as a way to both speed control next to your 2 birds and as a way to hit your own Annihilate and give it a stack. I think he took that as run Bulldoze on the Annihilate, which is not what I meant, so, not ideal,
Yeah,
I would argue.
That puts Blastoise in a much more comfortable position with its speed. Like, I assume it actually can now outspeed the Ogerpon. I don't really know that off the top of my head.
Depends on the investment, but yes. So that's frightening.
Yeah. And the other Pokemon in this field don't actually care about their speed getting dropped, so I'm not really sure what the goal there was.
Yeah, but
Blastoise switches out anyway.
And Rage Fist is 63.
Yeah, fishing for more burns on this Ogerpon. I think hoping to like maybe have Blastoise do something in this game, but I think it's low enough health at this point that it does not matter.
Yeah. Alluring Voice does pick up the KO on Annihilate, so thanks to the burn, Ned has managed to deal with this thing appropriately and not lose too many Pokemon in the process.
Does a lot.
Yeah, and it's a lot of healing. And the burn as well. So Ogerpon not going to do much more this game. But
Persian's here without the threat of Defiant anymore, which is nice. It gets a Fake Out off into this, what we know is Specs, but Ivy Cudgel does trade that out. I think that, like,
crit might have mattered.
Oh, did it? Crit
it there? Did crit. Does crit go through burn drop? I don't think so.
It does not.
Yeah. So maybe not. I don't know.
It was only at 23%. I don't think it mattered.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that Air Slash just pretty much one-taps Inisha. And it's actually the Horn Leech is going to give some HP back in the Ogerpon stick around longer, and it's going to get traded out by Ice Beam. So we're 3-2 right now. We don't have the defense boost on this Zamazenta anymore. But it's just going to go down to the Psychic.
Matter. Yeah. That is a special attack boosted, like a Quark Drive boosted stab Psychic.
Yeah.
There is an Assault Vest on that Pokemon with max HP. Maybe the crit mattered. I kind of doubt it.
No shot. There's absolutely no way. Even if that doesn't kill, like, Crunch wasn't even 2-tapping it. There's a Mega Pidgeot in the back. I don't think there was a way out of that in that position.
I mean, you do outspeed the Pidgeot if you manage to do... I don't think so either, yeah.
Let me see. Is this Pidgeot? Oh, it's 32, so I guess that's fair. So maybe, but I find it very unlikely that you're living that Psychic regardless. It's like, it's Stab, it's Quark Drive, I think, and you're not full HP. I think you're cooked, so...
Yeah, all in all, I think OJ played really well. He seemed to have the number over Ned's team. There was quite a lot of RNG back and forth. I think for the first 2 matches of this set,
Yeah, it was kind of
But
a mess.
I do think in the long run, OJ deserved to take this. I think his prep was decent, with the exception of that with the
Yeah,
bulldoze, and I think like he played well around the speed deficit that Ned was running.
yeah, for sure. I like how he didn't like try to like contest too much on the speed control and just rather was just like, well, I'm going to take the hit and then I'm going to ruin
Yeah,
your day. So
yeah, he
I think he
positioned
played pretty
really well.
well. And Annihilate finally, especially the other games too, got some like really good value, which is something that we saw him struggle with in the main season. So really happy to see that thing lock in.
Yeah, I think as far as Ned's team was, like obviously hindsight 2020, I think that they could have used more ghost resist. Like maybe Garganackle had a place here on this team instead of Persian. It was an interesting like ploy, I think, to have Persian with the foul play. Like the issue with that is that foul play does not, like Annihilate's boosting method with Rage Fist is not countered by foul play. Obviously the
Yeah.
Defiant is to an extent, but um, OJ was just able to switch out, drop the Defiant boosts, but Rage Fist remains at however many base power it is,
Yeah,
and
like
at that point foul play
it's
doesn't help you.
Annihilate scaling faster than Foul Play is. Not to mention we saw in previous games this is a bulk up Annihilate, and bulk up offsets the Foul Play boost as well thanks to the defense boost. So
Yeah,
it's gonna outscale you, and you do not want to get outscaled by Annihilate. So I kind of get it, but it's a little bit tough for sure.
hmm.
But yeah, I think that's it for this game unless you got anything else.
Nope, I don't.
All right, let's do it then. Cool. So we're on to our second game of quarters. This is Diaper Offense versus Terminal Velocity. This is the first game of the set, so no information known to these players other than the Pokemon team preview screen. Tell me, what do we have going on here?
So yeah, we have Akurari bringing in mostly the standard top six, but they have Illumise up instead of Superior. That's fine. I think Superior is a good Pokemon, but it's a little more niche.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he just felt like it didn't have the room to really sweep here like it likes to do. Like Landorus, it's only it doesn't really counter it super well, I guess. Like I was thinking with the flying type, but you have like a resist in the Sneasler. Lele's very fast and can deal pretty good damage to it.
Well, Lele's
It's
slower
not
than it.
running. I always forget how fast Superior is. I shouldn't even be. I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve this job.
You're good.
Superior to me just looks like one of those 80 base speed Pokemon. Like it doesn't look
No.
fast.
It's like 113. It threatens Glare if it's running that. But, I mean, there's also Sludge Bomb on Landorus. But, yeah, it doesn't do a ton here, so it makes sense to leave it, in my opinion. Illumise is just good speed control among some other funny things as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Qian Pao,
and then
real quick, has
Champao just
Sprite.
goes crazy.
There's two 4x ice weaknesses.
Yep. It's obviously got a really good speed tier. And it has priority. It has a lot of staying power, honestly, with Focus Sash. Like with the amount of damage that it's doing, and with the amount of damage that it's enabling on like things by like the Ments and even the Zeraora, like with the Sword of Ruin, it's just so threatening. And with the Sash there, it's not like you can just take it down, because I don't think you get double targets off against it. I think something dies before it has the chance.
Yeah, you can't trade with this thing very easily. And you mentioned the priority. Normally that wouldn't be an issue for a Psychic Terrain team, but both of the 4x ice weaknesses are flying types, so they are not benefiting from the priority immunity in Psychic
Very
Terrain.
true.
So there is Ice Shard, which is kind of a problem.
Yeah. Hosers doesn't have any steel types, does he? He just has the threat of one
Silvally.
with Silvally. This time we will see Electric Memory Silvally instead, which is still that's a flying resist for the Ments, but it's not a ice resist. I think steel might have been a better call here.
Yeah, when I was Aku asked me to help run practice matches, and I ended up running a Steel Memory, no multi-attack, special attacking Silvally, just to have literally an answer to the Ice type. But Electric is also good just because this Salamence is running purely Flying type attacks, because it does not care or need anything else.
Yeah, I think the Electric type is probably also here because it's offensive. It's much
Mhm.
better offensive type versus the team here. We have
Two waters.
two water types that are very bulky, and It even is neutral into the Ments.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. I like it. And then we've got Jump Bluff, which is just kind of standard. Jump Bluff's proven to be pretty good this season. Redirection, speed control, the works. And Hoopa, which we don't really need to talk about because I think we'll see what it does pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess we send it.
You mentioned Dozugiri not being here as well.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Well, but basically, there's quite a lot of Haze users. I think Chien-Pao gets Haze, Primarina gets Haze, and Volcanion, right? That's the three.
I think so, yeah.
You have 3 Haze users. You have a Water Absorber. Really, just not much going for it, I think.
You've also already got enough problems with Zeraora on this team, so you don't want to lock yourself out of being able to bring in Landorus to answer it and just get domed by Plasma Fist. So, yeah, unfortunately, they couldn't come, so we've got 2 C-tiers subbing in.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I think we can send it. There's a couple things on the pace here we'll talk about when we see him.
Yeah. Like we said, this is game 1, so not a lot revealed here. The Zeraora is such a menace. This thing is so much scarier than I thought it would be, just as a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's very imposing. Rage Powder comes out.
Which Hyper Voice...
I guess that's just to set the Trick Room, right?
Yeah, there's a Trick Room coming out here, but Akurari hard calls it and goes for double spread move, which does a lot to this Hoopa and gets around the Rage Powder fully. So Jump Left just got absolutely 0 value here and is actually stuck in Trick Room. It will hit the Sleep Powder, though, which is going to put Zeraora out of commission. And then it'll die.
That's pretty good, honestly. Like, getting the Sleep Powder off and then switching out with the free kill, that's not a bad position to take.
Yeah,
that being said, we don't have a lot of other Pokemon that want to be in Trick Room.
Yeah, and that's Psychic Seed on the Zeraora, which gave this thing so much more bulk than I expected, honestly. It's so bulky. One other thing worth noting is that this Lele, we're not going to see it here, is Adrenaline Orb, which is meant to help it outspeed the Salamence. But because Salamence loses Intimidate when it Megas, you pretty much need them to bring Salamence in on a Tapu Lele.
Yeah, I think the idea is that, like, you're running Trick Room, so Scarf feels like a bad option, and you want a more situational speed boost, is my guess.
Yeah, it just feels like the odds of that triggering is so unlikely.
Yeah, I think the only way it really guarantees to be triggered is if you lead it, but then, like, why is the Ment switching in on Lele?
Well, if you lead Lele, like, if you led Lele in this match, it would have had the boost.
It would have helped, but I'm saying, like, unless the lead on both sides happened, like, leading would then say, like, well, if he wants to switch in Ments at all, he was triggering it. But again, why would you switch in Ments against the Lele?
Yeah, it's a little tough. But it's going to get the turn 1 Wake Up, and it will manage to Protect, which...
Yep.
Oh, Double Protect, actually. I forgot about that.
Double Protect to stall out at least one more turn of this Trick Room, because we kind of see that the Expanding Force is very threatening from this from this Pokemon.
Yeah, and Moonblast's going to come out as we're going to switch in Illumise to eat the hit for us. And critical hit absolutely matters.
Yeah, that's going right through this special defense boost and right through your own special attack drop. That's an insane crit.
Yeah. Like I said, Zeraora, especially in the other game, was such a menace. So just getting it out of the way here so easily is such a big deal, I think. But
so Valley's type gets revealed. It's electric. And like we said before, this does mean that Mence is not doing as much damage into it, but yeah, it's not a steel type, so it's still got to be afraid of these ice moves.
Trick Room's gone down. Ice Spinner here to get rid of the terrain, and Ment's going to hit into the Protect. I assume this is... Oh, Icy Wind. Okay. Chien-Pao dodges it, which is actually a pretty big deal, but Salamence gets crit, which is also a big deal.
Yeah, a lot of RNG firing off here.
Yeah. I mean, that keeps Chien-Pao's Focus Sash intact, but also it means that this Salamence, which is relying on Double Edge to pick up one-hit KOs, can't actually click Double Edge without sacrificing itself in the process. So,
yeah,
I don't know who that really favors, but it's definitely impactful in some way, I guess. And
yeah, I'm just realizing this is a mixed Salamence as well.
Yeah, which is fun. I like mixed Ments.
It's fun, yeah.
Double Protect.
Goes for the Protect, does not need to.
And sacrifices Volcanion to the Future Sight. And he's back.
Future Sight's it's a weird move.
It is. He loves to run it.
Ice Spinner there is pretty good. Like, if the Lele comes in, it's going to bring the terrain up, which will then immediately go down. Having that, like, Ice Spinner to just kind of go faster than almost anything. I say almost anything as the Sneasler comes in is a very good way of just saying you don't get terrain in this match.
Yeah, for sure. Sneasler's
And
here,
like you
though.
said, with
Go ahead.
the sash still intact here is just insane.
Yeah, like you just I don't know if these get one tapped by Xianpao, but
I
Lele
don't think
probably
they do.
does. Maybe Lele might.
Lele might. It's neutral to
Yeah.
the crunch. Um,
Yeah.
you can't fake it out because you have your own terrain, so there's really no good way to break the sash here. Like, so I would say maybe go for protect plays to hope that you call it
Yeah.
right is your way out of this match.
And I mean, if you do double it, like Mega Salamence is just going to blow something up in return, so that's also pretty scary. But
Yeah.
it's actually going to protect here, and we're going to pick up the Dire Claw KO on Salamence. It's going to eat the Moonblast, so that's probably just a sack to be able to bring Illumise here in to reverse the speed control. And
And you get the
yeah.
Tailwinds prepping for the Primarina, which is a pretty good endgame position.
Dire Claw Para doesn't matter. It's going to kill. I think that Ice Spinner actually, from what I remember, had a small chance to KO, but it was far from guaranteed.
Yeah.
Light Screen going to come out there to help Primarina, because pretty much all the damage relies on Primarina now. But it reveals... Actually, I don't think the item is revealed yet. But this is a Scarf Primarina.
Yeah. With Unburden, I think that is revealed, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Because yeah, Unburden matches the Tailwind, and then Primarina is not supposed to be faster than them on even footing.
Yeah. And, I mean, it manages to survive the Sludge Bomb, which doesn't really matter because Illumise gets the kill on Landorus Incarnate with U-Turn.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy.
Stat books.
But yeah, I mean, just going back a couple turns, like, it looks pretty bad in this position because you've got literally just Primarina for DPS versus 3 very powerful Pokemon, 2 of which are, you know, poison types that can actually hit this thing pretty hard, but between the Scarf and the Illumise support, it's enough.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, a good closing out, honestly, with the like sacking of the Mence and then the Tailwind getting up, like that mattered a lot. With the residual light screen as well, being very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, time and time again, Akurari just leaning on this Primarina to like carry him. And
yeah, it's a really good Pokemon.
It keeps clutching up, so fair enough, man.
I mean, Water Fairy is, I think, just a crazy good typing.
Yeah, pretty good game. This went on to a game 2, and, you know, from there, but...
Game 2 was less close.
Yeah. I think once Akurari found out about the Trick Room mode, he had a much better answer to it, and Zeraora managed to get a lot more value in that game, so it was just kind of just... He kind of had the game plan ready from the start that game, and it was just a lot more clinical. So
I think Akurari's team was better poised to deal with the fucking psychic terrains than most of Timer Ball.
Yeah, crazy what happens when you draft a dark type.
Don't I have one of those? I have one of those.
You had Iron Jugulus. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying in general. There were like 3 dark types outside of C tier. And one of them was the Urshifu on the Psychic Terrain team. So, you know.
Oops.
That's okay. But yeah, this puts Akurari in line to fight the other Psychic Terrain team in the following week. So that's always fun. But yeah, I think that's it for this game.
Yeah, we got one more matchup here. We're gonna cover 2 games from it. So let's get going on that.
Let's do it. And this is going to be the last game of quarterfinals. We have Delfino versus Whiskey's crew. So looking at Whiskey's side, we have most of top 6 minus Gyarados plus Ampharos, which Ampharos has kind of been his honorary top 6 because it's played a lot of games.
Yeah, I think it only dropped 1 this whole season. And then on Steven's team, we have no Politoed, so we're not running Rain. We have instead Florges coming, and the rest is top 6.
Yeah, so both subbing in 1 C tier. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Florges is an insane bring into this, like, and insanely good, that is. When I was helping Whiskey prep for this way back when, I think, like, in the team that I had sort of, like, sampled together to practice with him, I just had, like, Calm Mind Florges, and he was unable to break it.
Yeah, that...
He just...
can't really hit
it. The only
that
physical...
well.
Yeah, like, there's 2 Pokemon that can really do physical damage on his team, Incineroar and Gyarados. And he was set on not bringing Gyarados, and I don't really remember why at this point. I think it would have been fine. But the Incineroar like resisted, or the Florges resists the Dark type, and if you do bring the Rain mode, which we don't see here, you can kind of also get a resist off the Fire type. So it's just sort of able to sit there with the special defense stat being kind of crazy good if you are Calm Mind boosting up, which we do see Steven have on this set. Then you're just sort of increasing the offensive potential as the set goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
It's scary.
It is. Speaking of Calm Mind, we've got it on Hatterene this time. It hasn't played a ton of games. I mean, it's like not been like super like absent, but this time around it's running a Calm Mind setup damage set. So, I mean, Whiskey as usual is getting completely outsped. Doesn't have a Pokemon above like base like 70 speed.
Yeah, Articuno has historically been like his fast Pokemon.
Yeah, and it's not here, so actually probably like base 60 speed. So yeah, we are accepting that either we get Trick Room up or we are getting outrun. So fair enough.
Yeah, and his team does kind of fall over to quite a lot here. Like, he needs the Trick Room.
Yeah, will say kind of funny because I know last season Meteor had Farigiraf, and that was really annoying, at least for me personally, because of Armor Tail. And this time around, he's got Jet Punch, Fake Out, and Bullet Punch that are all getting deleted by the Armor Tail. So Farigiraf is pretty well positioned here as well.
That's true.
You don't like need the priority unless you're stuck in Trick Room, but you know.
I think Scizor can do, like, against this team, yeah, it can do more than enough without Bullet Punch. And then Palafin, we do see this is carrying Throat Chop, so we're going to see if that plays out during this match at all or the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
So these things have answers, I think, for the Giraffe.
Oh, it definitely does. And I mean, like, Scizor is still a bug type, and bug type damage actually being useful for once letting it hit this Giraffe if it can't Bullet Punch its partner. So it makes sense, but yeah, it is definitely a little annoying. But I think that's it for Team Preview.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see where we got 2 matches to cover. Let's see where they go.
Yeah, so this is the first game, so nothing was known prior to this, so the players are just finding out what the opponent brought this time around. Intimidate on the Iron Hand, so no clear amulet this time around. Bug Buzz coming out. Ice Punch does absolute air. I suspected an Ice Punch up thy sleeve, he says. And we managed to survive and get the Trick Room off, so now it's a matter of just pivoting in something to actually get it working, and I mean, in this case, it's Close Combat Iron Hands.
That's a quad resist on the close combat.
Yeah, so
it's a good switch in on that part.
We are leaving, and there's the Calm Mind.
Yeah, Calm Mind is a little bit. I might just want to start getting damage off. You only have 2 turns of Trick Room left.
I guess that's true. Yeah, also Sludge Bomb Amoonguss here, which is kind of a rare sight, but it makes sense just to give you a way of hitting and resisting Florges in return, right? So it makes sense.
I mean, you get the poison chance too. If that gets off, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that'll chunk through the its own Calm Mind boosts in return eventually. Palafin's transformed. Rage Powder comes out. Mystical Fire does absolute air. Actually, 25 is not bad.
Well, it's a very good way to scout the Mystical Fire. You don't know yet that it's a thing. Palafin just goes down though, and we do get a Spore off on the last turn of Trick Room, which is somewhat nice. Like, this could be a good way to keep the Trick Room up. Rage Powder there is a really good call, and I don't remember if he goes for the Trick Room or if he goes for Mystical Fire. I think each could be good
Both
calls.
are valid for sure. Yeah, he's just going to take the KO. The Rocky Helmet damage was nice, even though it probably didn't need it to kill there, but
I think Mystical Fire there is nice because there's not a whole lot else besides the Scizor that can really challenge the Hatterene at this point.
That's fair. And it just gets Trick Room up now as the Amoonguss sacrifices itself to give Hatterene one more turn.
Yeah,
and
more Calm Minds.
And we have Iron Head.
Yeah, Iron Head there was definitely intentionally something for the Florges. That being said, it was there in case the rain came out, where like Flare Blitz does more damage. But I guess if you could know the Iron Head's going to kill, you might as well, because you're not getting recoil, like throw it out.
Yeah, this has been historically a very offensive Incineroar, which kind of makes sense the more you see this team play of just not having physical damage otherwise. Especially in the face of like, Florges has high SpDef. There's always the risk of Quiver Dance and Calm Mind setups. Iron Hands loves to run an Assault Vest as well. So,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
makes
this is
sense.
still a max HP Assault Vest Incineroar. Like, it is still a fairly hard Pokemon to take down.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I'm just saying it tends to run a lot more attack than you would expect an Incineroar to run. But it's done historically pretty well for him, so it kind of makes sense.
yeah, it is a plus attack nature with
Hmm.
max attack. So you're right.
Fakeout does
Um,
20%.
yeah, just doing what he can to try to take this thing down. But the 2 times defense or special defense does allow that to live the Bug Buzz.
Yeah, and Psychic just kills, which good that it kills, and the Life Orb is going to take it in return. Um,
Yeah,
Now, in this position, it's kind of tough, because there is one turn of Trick Room left. You've only got 2 Pokemon, and your opponent has pretty much 3 full HP Pokemon left. So, this is a little scary of a position to be in, I feel like.
yeah. As we said earlier, we do allow forfeits in these playoff matches because it's best of 3. We want players to have the option to conserve their information. But Steven does not elect to do that here. I think he wants to either just play it out for the sake of the game, or maybe he is expecting to learn more about what Pokemon are in the back. Because I don't think Ursaluna's revealed anything yet, right?
It hasn't hit the field. But
Yeah.
actually, one thing worth noting here, I want to say, yeah, this thing, the Volcarona, actually hit Protect on the turn before, and this is a successful double Protect, where it probably would have at least taken a ton, if not just outright died to this Flare Blitz. So, bit of a
Yeah,
break
it's not.
there.
Volcarona does not have a lot of physical defense, and this thing isn't invested in any HP or physical defense,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
probably would have died.
but it's going to go for the Quiver Dance here, so it's revealing it's not a redirection set, and is instead a setup set. This Mega Ampharos is going to fail the double protect and not get targeted anyway. And now the
Yeah,
Volcarona is protecting.
yeah, it's a good fake out. Dragon Pulse is going to be able to take that out, and now it's Volcarona versus the World. Volcarona does have a pretty good matchup into everything that's not Incineroar, but like we said earlier, like that Flare Blitz is, it
Yeah.
probably could have killed. I'm sure that was a roll to kill.
Yeah, it's also worth... Wow, it's actually alive. It's also worth noting this Volcarona is not packing Giga Drain, which is something we see on a lot of VGC Quiver Dance Volcaronas, where they run, like, Terra Grass and Giga Drain as a way to, like, hit ground and stuff. But it's not running it this time, so its matchup into Ursaluna is not quite as good as you would expect in some cases. But at the same time, it's like, you have to scout the Giga Drain first before you can safely put that thing in.
Yeah, I think the Giga Drain just didn't fit like their need. I think you would have had to draw Protect if you wanted
Yeah,
to keep Giga Drain, and
which I get.
Protect versus the Trick Room team is just so important.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It makes sense to not have it here, but,
Like I would have rather seen Roost than Giga Drain.
No, I agree. I'm not saying you should run Giga Drain, but, like, Volcarona doesn't answer this thing as well as you would unless you start getting Quiver Dances up before it comes out. So, that's how
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
but,
Good game one. Steven was able to weather most of those Trick Room turns. I think it's just the second Trick Room was a bit of a nail in the coffin, and
yeah, the Hatterene
I
kind
think
of clutched up this game, I feel like.
yeah, there's a lot to be said where like Scizor becomes an interesting like denial to Trick Room because it probably can one shot the Farouk Giraffe, but then like even though it can also do quite a bit of damage into the Hatterene as we see, like both the Trick Room setters are pretty threatened by it. When you have one turn of Rage Powder, that just completely upsets that balance.
I would say this Caesar cannot one-shot the Giraffe.
Well, maybe not. I think Bug Bite would, but
What do you mean, Bug Bite?
I'm not saying Bug. Like he could. Like, we don't know the information yet.
Hypothetically.
Like he hypothetically has a one shot in the
Yeah, I see what you
canon,
mean.
but he brought U-turn instead, which is fine. I just don't know if U-turn gets the job done.
No, it doesn't. I'm like 99% sure, but yeah. But regardless, pretty good game one. Whiskey just plays well around his win condition. Ursaluna actually didn't even have to do much. Hatterene did most of the damage for this game, plus some help from Incineroar, with the Iron Head and everything. So yeah, just a
Yeah,
solid
I
match.
I can't understate how valuable it is as well in these best of threes to have a Pokemon that just didn't have to hit the field.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, that's a lot of
Ursaluna.
conserved info.
Yeah, I mean, Ursaluna's set like isn't like groundbreaking or anything, but
I think the item is at least flexible enough
yeah.
that it matters. Like this Ursaluna is running soft sand,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think the first time it's run it. Like
Yeah.
it's got I think it usually would have ran Life Orb, but Hatterene wanted it. So
Yeah. Most of Whiskey's team did get revealed in that game. A lot of Meteor's team did, though Florges still has a couple tricks up its sleeve left unrevealed.
mhm.
One thing I want to call out before we go to Game 2 real quick. All season I've been sitting here watching Meteor put max HP on the Iron Hands without Spadef, and it's like, dude, the amount of bulk difference that Spadef makes on Iron Hands, especially with Assault Vest and like investing in Spadef instead of HP, it's actually so insane, and it's been driving me up a wall.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it.
I've noticed it, and I'm like, dude, please put Spadef in this thing, I swear. I'm sure like there's a reason for it, but I'm just like, please, for the love of God, just max Spadef this thing. I'm losing my mind.
Well, I mean,
So
he is max Spadef this week. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He did it. It wasn't here for the
did it.
longest time, and I'm like, finally. But that's
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I'm good to go into Game 2 then.
Yep.
So we're on to Game 3. We're going to skip Game 2, but Meteor managed to take that one pretty convincingly. So last game of the set, player who wins moves on. You know the drill. I'm just going to get it going because I don't have much else to add, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
thought,
been a while. I don't remember quite what happened game 2, but it was strongly in Steven's favor, I believe.
yeah, for sure.
Whiskey switches out the Hatterene, I guess, because it's pretty threatened by both the Bug and the Steel here, and with both Pokemon on the lead being able to set Trick Room, well, actually, he just goes for neither. He goes for the Protect.
Yeah, the Protect is big because he just, or is, big for Meteor because he just doubles into the other slot and then doubles into it this turn. And
Yeah,
he's already taken
good
a
calls.
ton on Incineroar and already lost the Giraffe, which is really frightening. And
Yeah, I think Whiskey he's a little in his head at this point. I think losing game 2 maybe hurt his mental a little bit, but
yeah,
he gets the Trick Room up.
Yeah, stalls out, and he actually Calm Minds on the double Protect, so that's really nice. Because
Yeah.
I feel like Hatterene's not
What
going
do
to
you
have to
think
do a
of
lot.
not Mega-ing there on the Sceptile? Do you think that was a mistake?
On the
Is there any reason to not
Sceptile?
Mega there? Yeah, it protected.
Let me think, because it's
I think
unburdened.
maybe because you can Wild Charge next to it with it when it's not Mega'd.
That's true, but I guess in theory, like, it doesn't really gain bulk from Megging, so you may as well if you're gonna protect. That's fair, I guess. Though
It also can switch in safer to Dragon Pulses if it needs to.
sure, but then it can't switch in on like Thunderbolts and stuff. So I guess you can switch it on Dragon Pulse, so that makes sense. But yeah, another Calm Mind, another Dragon Pulse, another Fake Out.
Yeah, Whiskey's not getting too much out of this Trick Room, and this Calm Mind from the... I don't remember if this Calm Mind was revealed in Game 2 or not. Critical hit.
I don't think so. But yeah, that crit's just gonna go through the boost and guarantee the kill. A lot of Earth Power damage here, so Palafin's actually pretty on the back foot here. And
Yeah,
he's just
it
gonna
wasn't able to get into its hero form.
Well, it might later. I don't know, but it actually stays into Wave Crash, which does like absolutely nothing because it's -1. It will get the hero form in. And we're going to see the Fake Out, which isn't going to matter. The Earth Power will not quite get the KO.
Yeah, even with the soft stand boost, it's just not quite getting that final bit.
Yeah. Notably, and
I think...
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I think Trick Room kind of has to go up here, or else this is pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, like, you have a lot of HP on Bear and Ampharos, but, like, there's so many Pokemon left. Even if, like, 1's low, 2's low, 3 are low. Like, if you get Trick Room, you can sweep with Ursaluna spread moves, but it's such a hard ask with a 4 HP Hatterene. And Blood Moon's
With Life
doing
Orb.
no damage.
I mean, yeah, Life Orb means that thing gets one attack off, if anything, and then Blood Moon has to carry the rest. Oh, and the Ampharos.
Yeah, but I mean, it's taking so much. And yeah, Earth Power will pick up the KO. We're going to get the double down, so we are in a 3 against 2. But Ursaluna probably just can't get an attack off.
Neither of these Pokemon are getting an attack off.
Yeah. Wave Crash gonna kill. Crit, doesn't matter. It is gonna kill Palafin on the way out, so Whiskey gets one more kill out the door.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that was Whiskey's last game. Steven's going to move on to semis. It was a good set. I think Whiskey might have, I'm surprised that he didn't carry more like momentum coming off of the first match. Because I think it was game 2 where he started to make some errors and then got in his own head about it. But it happens, and I don't think it takes away from the very incredible season that he had getting to playoffs.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous run. So got one more game out and then called it there. But no, I mean, I think this was a fun set. I think it was really interesting to see, like, the hard Trick Room in another environment, just outside of Quick Ball. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that
Go ahead.
Whiskey has in the past run. He always has Trick Room in the back pocket, but he has run things that function outside of it. This time around, he really didn't, and I think that did hurt him because in that best of 3, you just have to get rid of. You have to reveal so many of your Trick Room, setup plans that makes it very easy to plan around once they've been revealed, which is kind of I think why we see game 1 go very strongly in his favor, and he's able to set up two different Trick Rooms, and then I think game 2 and 3 he managed to get one, if any.
Yeah.
I think Gyarados has
Potential.
maybe like a potential here. It has a good spot. Intimidate does go pretty far here versus the 3 physical attackers. Obviously, like Iron Hands is a little bit uncomfortable to switch into because there's the threat of the electric move, but it's still able to do something there, and it resists the wave crashes. It probably doesn't live them too well. Like it might take 2, but
It's got Intimidate, like -1 wave
yeah,
crash to
-1 wave
resist.
crash probably is still to hit KO. I'd have to guess.
No shot.
Maybe if it's yeah, I think it is. This Palafin is insane, dude. Especially if rain was up, which we don't see here. But yeah, you can run the calc if you want. Put it in
I'm
the
running
chat. Give
it.
me some engagement.
Yeah, but
No,
I'm running it
the
right
chat
now.
do it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but I think it has a spot. Like it's also an answer to Florges, like we talked about earlier. Incineroar being the only Pokemon that does physical damage on this team meant that it was kind of just dedicated to like its role in the match became I have to kill and check Florges, and it isn't able to do much of anything else. And having something else to relieve that pressure would have been beneficial. So again, this is all hindsight, and this completely changes if other things come like Magneton. We didn't see here. Like there are things in the prep phase that I'm sure dissuaded the Gyarados bring, but it is what it is.
Yeah. One set I wanted to talk about real quick that's just kind of funny. This Florges is running Captivate, which is -2 special attack on the target if they're the opposite gender. Florges is a female-locked Pokemon, and Ursaluna Bloodboon is male-locked, so that's just kind of
Yeah, I think
comedic
Steven's
more
run
than
this move a couple times in the past. I think this is probably the first time we've seen this in playoffs, but
I mean, we saw it in Season 6. Ned ran it versus the Genies, which are also male-locked, funny enough.
yeah.
So,
I don't think it's like the most reliable thing. Like it's similar to like going for paralysis just for the full para chance and not the speed thing. Like you're banking on rolls happening at that point.
what do you mean?
I don't love it.
Captivate?
Yeah. Well, what is the effect of Captivate? Isn't not the one that it's kind of like rolls to see if you get like 50% chance to move or something?
No, that is Attract. Captivate is -2 special attack. It is Charm, but gender-locked.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have really incapacitated the Ursaluna. Didn't end up happening, but, just kind of a funny set that I wanted to mention. But, yeah, on the whole, pretty good set. I don't think there's too much else to say on that other than GG and on to semifinals, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Wink, wink. It's probably not going to be next week, but we'll get it out when we get it out.
I'm trying. Dude, I've got another exam in 2 weeks. It's actually so over. It's actually so over.
We'll see you guys at Christmas. No, so far in the future.
All right, well, we still have an outro, right?
Oh yeah, well, you're gonna cut this, so it's fine.
No, it's staying in.
Damn it.
Cool. So that was our quarterfinals. It was a pretty fun time. We had 2 games go to game 3, one that just went to game 2. So they were pretty fun, pretty back and forth matches overall. Even the one that went to game 2, like there was some close stuff in there on the whole. So I'm pretty happy with how quarterfinals went in general.
Yeah, these playoff matches are always a treat to watch, even if they do take like 2 to 3 hours, like when they're live.
Yeah, you mentioned the mental game in the last set of games we watched, but it really is hard to like keep the mental together sometimes, especially like if bad rolls happen or you just get called out like on a couple
Yeah,
turns. Like on the main season, I can kind of cope with like, well, it's only one game, I can still make playoffs even if I lost this game to some bad luck or to some bad calls or I just played bad. But in playoffs, it's like, you make a mistake and it's like, well, I have to lock in like right now. And a lot of the times people just can't lock in and
yeah,
it's hard.
everything is on the line.
Hmm.
And I think that like in Whiskey's case, as we saw, like Whiskey came off like just one of the most dominant seasons we've ever seen
Hmm.
in the regular season. So having some resistance and like seeing that kind of fall through your fingers live, it takes a lot of fortitude, I think, to be able to bounce back and like bring it to game 3 and um, bring your A
Yeah.
game at the end of it.
And that's not
So
even just a whiskey issue. Like, I think that happens to a lot of people. I think that even happened in other games in this set where it's just like, it's definitely hard. Like, there's been like times in like my own like time in playoffs where I'm just like, something terrible happens and I just have to like put down the computer and I'm like, I have to lock in or I will throw this game. So
yeah, I
it's
mean
tough.
I'm not trying to single anyone out. I'm absolutely the champion of choking playoffs. Like I historically usually I will win the first game and then lose the next 2. So
I've
I'm
only ever lost the first game.
dude, I always like I think both season. Well, we don't have to get into it, but
Yeah.
it happens to me.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, looking at next week, we've got, well, next week, quote unquote, we've got Nay Bearhoof Watch and Terminal Velocity. So, like we said, Akurari's fighting another Psychic Terrain team. Interestingly, the way that playoffs have shook out means that Akurari is only fighting recent Quick Ball promotions until finals, assuming he gets there.
Hmm.
But that's always fun. Burnt, prior to this, still undefeated. Didn't play in this week because of the bye, so we'll see how that shakes out. And we've got Delfino versus Bird Watchers both moving on, so that'll be a fun set as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think that we'll see how they all go, but I think these are both some good matchups. Good showdowns here with some historical context.
Does that one have historical context?
Like you were talking about, like Quick Ball basically versus old Quick Ball. You have Steven versus OJ. Those are both players who have, been in the season or been in
That's fair.
TDD a long time. So that's kind of what I meant.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Yeah, I was like, do they have beef? Is there
No,
beef I
no
don't know
beef.
about? Okay, no, there's so much beef actually. I've changed my mind.
Only beef exists between Timer Ball and Timer Ball. We all hate each other.
You're right, and we never mind. um, it's fine. Anyway, I guess that's it for the actual, standings and state of the game and everything. The hell do we do now?
Oh, in the jungle here? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah, we're
question.
still in the jungle.
Urshifu mentioned in passing to me that they have this studio underneath that big tree. They use it to record like propaganda videos and whatnot for the dark type. So maybe we can use that. I'll give a request and say like, hey, we want to improve our recording setup. So ask him if we can maybe do that next week.
That's really impressive that you managed to speak with him, given you don't speak Portuguese.
Oh well, my phone translates and I was able to grab that. So
Okay, understandable. I almost thought there was a plot hole for a second.
no, we would never have
there,
those.
there would never be a plot hole. Anyway, I guess that's it for us, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Wish us luck here in the spooky jungle. Hopefully, Big Fairy doesn't send any of their agents to track us down.
Yeah, we'll just take our time here, take it easy, take a break, and then we will make our way back to Civilization soon. So we'll catch up with you for semifinals soon enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
chug some Rosalie berries or something. I made a smoothie.
right. Good shout. Okay, we'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Bye bye.
Bye.